Hi No Glue Tubers, it's Mommy Gluten here. I am doing a different kind of video today. It's not a product review. Ever since we started this channel, we have had people come up to us or ask us, how did you know that Luke had celiac disease? Did he have any other symptoms? Like, what were the symptoms? I bet there are people out there right now watching this video that are sitting there thinking, oh, my stomach has been hurting. I just feel so tired. Like, maybe I have celiac disease. I wanted to share with you some of the early on symptoms. Like, no, I did not know that Luke had celiac disease until he ate that battery. But there were so many indications. Now I look back on it, things that he had that I didn't realize were part of celiac disease. So when Luke was first born, he was jaundice. I don't know if that has anything to do with celiac disease, and I'm not saying if your kid was jaundice that they're gonna have celiac disease. He also developed some pea-sized nodules like in his neck, in his lymph nodes, and they were like one after another. And I had read somewhere in some book about celiac disease that a lot of times your lymphatic system can't flush out toxins, so they get caught in these little nodules. We had to get a blood test. We had to, rule out lymphoma or anything like that. And he had them for quite some time, actually, now that I think about it, probably until he went gluten-free. Also dairy intolerant when he was young. He was on acid reflux medicine, and he was very colicky and a terrible sleeper. He did not want to go to sleep. He did not want to stay asleep. When he got a little bit older, he developed a little bit of a temper. He couldn't really focus that well in school, and he just was quick to get frustrated. So Luke was always very small in stature. He was always like 10%, 20% of height and weight. He was not the biggest kid in his class. He was always the smallest kid in his class. Now, he also had very pale skin, which I have pale skin, so I didn't think anything about that. He was a slower reader. He can read fine. He's not the best in his class by any means. He's not like the worst, but he's just slower. Also was very emotional as a kid before he went gluten-free. We were watching Frozen one time, and he cried at the scene, do you want to build a snowman? Which, of course, everyone kind of cries at that scene. But he was sobbing. I mean, sobbing like he couldn't get his emotions out, and he was like hyperventilating, like so upset about it. And I thought that was kind of interesting, especially for a little boy. He also had a lot of constipation. Now, a lot of celiac patients have diarrhea. He did have diarrhea every now and then, but his thing was really constipation, and it was pretty bad. A lot of celiac patients have more brittle bones than people that don't have celiac disease. And when he was, I want to say 3 years old, we were at one of those jumpy houses, and he jumped off something and he broke his leg. He literally broke his leg. And I was like, what? You just jumped and your leg is broken? That doesn't make any sense to me. And a couple years ago, he was at a summer camp and he was playing flag football, and he fell down and he broke his arm. So he just randomly broke the leg, and then he randomly broke the arm. And I was like, how is this kid breaking legs and arms? It just didn't make any sense to me. So those were really Luke's symptoms. It was a lot, looking back on it, it was a lot. And the more I read about this disease and what it could do, it all made sense. I'm like, of course he has celiac disease. This disease checking all the boxes. So I urge you, if you think that you might have a gluten intolerance, a gluten sensitivity, God forbid celiac disease, there is a simple blood test that you can take. You have to be eating gluten, I believe, for a couple weeks beforehand. I want to say it's 3 weeks, but you could check with your healthcare provider. But it's an easy enough test to take, and it could really save your life. Please comment on any other symptoms that you may have experienced in the comment section below. Thank you, and see you in our next video.